Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Darren and this is Darren's Corner. On this channel, I talk about food, lifestyle, and some travel. If this is your first time, thank you so much for watching my video. Please don't forget to like, to subscribe, and turn on your notifications. Today, we're going to be going local. I'm going to be making some local porridge, and it's not just anyhow porridge. It's a porridge that is infused with sweet potatoes, Irish potatoes, and plantains. The first thing we're going to be doing is to put some oil in your pan, and you're going to saute your onions because you want to get those flavors going. And so just saute your onions. Make sure you put your gas to low heat, and then you're going to start adding your seasoning. So you're going to put in different seasoning. I've added some turmeric, I've added some curry powder, a little bit of garlic powder, seasoning cube, and of course some poultry seasoning. And I'm just going to mix this and stir fry this on low heat. And it's always good to fry your seasoning because you want to infuse the flavors into the oil, and that is actually how I make most of my food. I always have to saute my onions with my seasoning, and the flavor is always well infused. And so once you do that, make sure you continue to stir your onions. You don't want to stick to the bottom of the pot. And then you're going to add in your pepper mix, and this pepper mix is made up of equal parts of red bell peppers, tomatoes, and habaneros. So but depending on how spicy you want it to be, so if you're going to be using like 4 bell peppers, you use 4 Roma tomatoes, and then maybe just 2 habaneros. So I'm going to start off by peeling my sweet potatoes. Sweet potatoes, if you're craving Niger type of sweet potatoes, just buy this type. If you're out of the country, this is the closest type of sweet potatoes that we have, and that is closest to the Niger one. You don't want to go with the orange one that is called yams, that you find in most stores. That is not going to give you this texture that I'm going for in this porridge. So you want to get the other white potato, white yam. It's called white yam, not the orange one, and that would work for this. So that is what I'm doing. I'm going to slice it and cut it into chunks. You don't want it to be too small. Just cut it into the size I'm showing on the screen right now. And I'm going to do that for all the sweet potato that I have. So next, I'm going to also peel my Irish potato. I'm using the red Irish potato. You can use the normal Irish potato, it doesn't matter. But I have the red at home and I'm using that. So just peel the skin, and then you can also cut that into cubes. So I'm going to go ahead to cut my Irish potatoes. You can see the size I'm cutting it into. You don't want to cut it too small, and you don't want it to be too big. I like my porridge to have some chunks, bite-sized pieces, as well as, I want it to also be mashed up. So a little bit of the small chunks and then the large chunks as well, because you don't want everything to be mashed up. You don't want a mashed porridge, right? So you want actual porridge that would still have some chunks as well as some portions mashed up. So that's why I'm cutting it into different sizes. Some of them I'm cutting into cubes, some of them I'm cutting into halves, just to give it that consistency that I'm looking for in my porridge. So most people would want to make porridge with yams, but if you're abroad or outside Nigeria, yams is like gold. So this is another option for you, right? Instead of getting yams, you can actually use potatoes, right? Use Irish potatoes and sweet potatoes, and I bet, I kid you not, it's going to taste like your normal yam porridge. So I'm just going to go ahead to rinse my cut up potatoes and just rinse out the water, make sure it's clean. And this is locust beans. Like I said, I'm going local with this recipe, so I'm going to be adding locust beans for additional flavor. So I'm just rinsing this out. I don't know about you guys, but I always rinse out my locust beans because I feel that it's kind of dirty. So I rinse it out using a sieve so that it doesn't, when I'm rinsing it, it still stays within my sieve. This is my cooked pepper sauce, and I'm just going to be adding in the washed locust beans now, to add in extra flavor. Not just extra flavor, but that local flavor. And I'm just going to add a little bit of water to lighten up the sauce. And those chunks you're seeing there is because I grounded my pepper mix with ginger, and I didn't do a fine blend. But use whatever consistency you have. And then I'm going to be adding in my tripe, and that is what I just added with the stock. And I'm going to be putting in my potatoes now so that it cooks with my pepper sauce. So I'm just going to allow this to cook till the potato softens. And while that is going on, I'm going to start grilling my mackerel fish. So we're going to be adding some mackerel fish. So I'm just going to put this in my grill, and I'm going to grill this. So this is my grilled mackerel fish. I'm going to debone it. And so for this, you want to just be careful. Make sure you debone properly. You don't want bones to get stuck in someone's throat. So I'm just taking my time to do this, and I'll go ahead to debone. So this is all done and ready to be added into my pepper sauce. Yeah, so let's see how this is going. And yep, it's looking nice. It's looking as I would want it. It's not, you can still say that it's still not done yet. So we're actually midway between the time it will take to cook. I would say that you would cook your potatoes in a pepper sauce for roughly about 20 to 30 minutes. So you want it to be soft, right? But not mashed up. And so that is what I'm going for. And after some time, I check again, and I would go ahead to stir this. Sorry, I'm gonna go ahead to add in my plantains. And so you add in the plantains last, because you don't want the plantain to be too soft. Like when you cook plantains for long, then it becomes mashed up, right? It doesn't take long for plantains to cook, so that's why you're adding your plantains last. Once the potato is a little bit soft, then you add in your plantains for it to cook along with the potatoes, and that is exactly what I'm doing right now. So I'm just going to go ahead to stir it, and in the process of stirring, some part of the potato is going to get mashed up. That's fine, totally fine. So just continue to stir and make sure that the sauce coats all portions of your roots as well as the plantains. And then we're going to be adding in my mackerel fish at this stage as well, so that everything cooks together and the flavor from the fish gets infused into the potatoes, into the porridge. And in the process of stirring, I'm also using my my wooden spatula to like mash the potatoes. And I'm also going to be adding salt at this stage to season it up. I tasted it and it needed some salt. I'll also be adding some paprika for some color, and also to add some smoky kind of flavor into the mixture. I'm just going to stir this continuously and allow it to cook for some time as well. So after about another 15 minutes, I check on my porridge, and you can see the look. You can see that it's more mashed up. My plantains is more properly is getting cooked or properly cooked, and I'm just going to continue to mash it. You can see how I'm using my wooden spoon to just bash it, stir, and then mash. So you don't want to like stir it too much. Just stir it once, mash it, stir it once, mash it. That is how to go about this. So I'm gonna go ahead and add in my grilled chicken. So this was already pre-grilled and was in my fridge, so I'm just taking it out from my Ziploc and adding it into the porridge. So the last thing I'll be adding into this porridge is some spinach. So the spinach has been blanched and washed and cut into pieces. So it's been cut, washed, and blanched. Actually, that's the right sequence. And I'm just adding this. You don't want to put too much of spinach. You just want to put enough to give it some nice look as well as nice taste. You don't want to turn your porridge into vegetable soup, right? So just put in some small quantity of the spinach. You can also decide to use a different type of vegetable, but I prefer to use spinach, which is easily available for me to use here. And then allow it to cook, and then you check up on it, and you can see that it looks well done now. My spinach was frozen, so I'm just trying to defrost it inside the porridge. and I'm just gonna continue to stir it and also leave it to cook for some time. And that is it. Can you guys see how it looks? Does it look sumptuous to you? And this is like the perfect porridge you can cook. You can actually cook it for, if you're hosting just in your house. You can add it to your meal timetable and add it. Even the kids can take it to school if you want. But it's very nutritious. It has everything like proteins, carbohydrates, minerals, vitamins, whatever. So I'm just gonna dish this now and dig in. You can see the look, very lovely. Like I said, it's mashed up, but you can still see chunks of everything. It's like some chunks of potatoes, some chunks of plantain, and this is it dished out, and you can see the look. This was absolutely delicious. If you follow this recipe, you're gonna come back and thank me later. So make sure that when you follow the recipe, you come back and drop me a comment and let me know how it tasted after you tried it. And that is it, guys. This is the finished look of my triple fantastic porridge. I'm triple because I'm using the Irish potato, I'm using the sweet potato, and I'm using plantains. And this is actually a proper local dish. So let's dig in. I'm just gonna take some pieces of that, and oh man, it's so delicious. Let me get some pieces of the tripe. I'm gonna add the tripe, put in some veggies, and let's just see how that tastes. Yeah, it's very, 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 very delicious. I don't know what's happening. Let the meat come on my fork. It's taking a while to get that into the fork. Yep, that is it. I'm just gonna put this in my mouth. Do you guys want some as well? Wow. Oh, lovely. This is delicious. This is yummy. Make sure you try it and just let me know. Everyone in my house enjoyed this. I celebrate Canada Thank you so much. This brings me to the end of today's video. Thank you. I hope you really enjoyed watching. If you like this video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up, to subscribe, and turn on your notifications till we meet again. Bye.